What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another video. Now I'm here, finally landed back in America after a crazy travel in Saudi Arabia. It was such a blast, and I'm here with my friend Carson, and we are waiting outside Mike's house. So we're gonna surprise Mike for his birthday with a cool photo shoot organized by Carson here. So thankfully Carson invited me and waited for me to come back from Saudi Arabia to do this, and we're gonna have a super fun time shooting Mike's cars in his garage, including the brand new, what is it, the Agera Phoenix? RX Phoenix, yes. Manny Koshman's old car that Mike...
not X.
S, whatever. Okay, well, Carson and I have made it inside Mike's house, and my oh my, has this garage gotten even better since the last time I was here. So we have the LaFerrari, which, shameless plug, guys, one of my last videos, I drove this car, and Mike drove it way harder than any LaFerrari owner has ever driven the car. It also has an exhaust, so make sure to check out that video. It's really worth your time. But this is the newest addition to Mike's fleet, the Agera RS Phoenix. So it's Mike's birthday and he's in China, and we're actually doing this photo shoot for his birthday as kind of a cool present to give to him over social media. He loves his cars and he hasn't actually seen this one in person yet, even though it's at his house and his girlfriend's here and she's driven it. So it's pretty funny. He's like dying to see this car. So we're gonna give him photos for his birthday. And it also means we get to start them up. I'll show you the insides and outsides of this one and any other cool car. Carson's running with his camera, so let's go.
Nipples.
I don't know if you can hear me over the sound of that ridiculously loud Aventador, but this is one of Mike's cooler cars that's not a hypercar. It's a full Mansory Aventador, so it has the entire Mansory kit, inside, outside, and the exhaust, as you can so clearly hear. Oh man, that blue carbon in the sun just comes alive. That looks so good. Carson is the director. Look at these hand motions, guys. What do we rate Carson as? Could he be a traffic director successfully? I think so. I think that's his next career. Anyway, let's admire this thing in the sun, guys. It looks so good. All right, so Carson has been chosen to start the Agera.
Ow. Hit my head on that thing.
You hit your head. This is a small car, man. So we're gonna start the Phoenix, and we're gonna show you how to start. But first, look at the details, guys. There's gold stitching. It's different. It's so cool. Okay, this is pretty wild, guys. We have all three of Mike's carbon hypercars out here for the photo shoot. We have the Agera Huayra BC, and of course the amazing Agera RS Phoenix on the end there. So let's do a little walk through the details. They're all so unique to one another. I love the Pagani. It's literally like art, but then again, the inside of the Koenigseggs are so cool as well. So let's start with the Phoenix, because this car has so much detail, and this is the first time I'm really able to check this thing out, including the all gold Phoenix badge. So the interior of the Phoenix is definitely my favorite Koenigsegg interior I've ever seen. Even though it's all black and there's not that much color, the only other contrast is gold, and it's all real gold. So, for example, look at the stitching on the seats, guys. We have normal stitching with a gold piping, and then we have this beautiful like X cross stitching there. It's just the detail of this car, guys. Look, it even goes around here, and you can see it really in the sun. We've got the all gold Koenigsegg logo AC vent. Oh, I could only imagine driving this thing like 250 down the Autobahn or down the 405, depending on where you live. But what a sick car. So you have all the buttons here. And of course, what's cool about Koenigsegg is it's all kind of backlit illumination. So you can't really see much there, except the glowing red engine start-stop. That's a cool detail. But the gold, guys, gold in the steering wheel, the actual gold stitching that's everywhere, gold center. And look at the roof. We have gold piping all around the ceiling. So believe it or not, the Koenigsegg Agera RS actually has a variety of driving modes, so it's pretty cool. It's something that can be accessed, you can't access it through the buttons down here, you can only access it through the menu up here. So check it out, you go into car setup, you have the wet and snow mode, you have normal, and then you have racetrack. So listen to what happens. The car's not even on, but just listen to what happens when I hit racetrack. So the car lowers. I could physically feel the suspension lowering. You can kind of hear a little bit of creaking. So the car just sits lower. I'm sure the suspension's a lot firmer. And if it were on, I'm sure the idling would get a little bit crazier. So this is the interior of the Huayra BC, and I gotta say, out of every hypercar, this has got to be my favorite interior by a huge mile. I think the seats are absolutely gorgeous. They're single-piece carbon fiber, but you have the beautiful leather wrapped with this Alcantara that's just so nice. Because it's a BC, it has this open part that's kind of lightweight, so the seat compared to the normal Huayra is definitely a lot lighter, and the interior is a little bit more stripped from the standard one, but it still has all the bells and whistles you could ever imagine. The BC steering wheel is absolutely gorgeous. We have a dark anodized black metal, so all the metal bits in the car, instead of being a lighter silver, they're a really cool anodized polished black. And then we have carbon fiber and Alcantara. So between all these hypercars, I'd say the Pagani has the most carbon fiber on the interior, at least visually. Definitely the Koenigsegg, and definitely both Koenigsegg's have the most Alcantara and leather, but the carbon fiber use inside the Pagani is unreal, guys. So now we have the Phoenix all by itself, and we've been taking some pretty cool photos because this car in the sun, guys, the direct carbon fiber with all of the insane gold, it's just astonishingly beautiful. So now I figure it's a good time to really show you guys what this car is about, and thankfully we actually have Mike's other Agera R. So this is the Agera R. It's kind of like the less aggressive version before the Agera RS came out. So we have a good comparison to really show you that this thing is turned up to 12 out of 10, guys. One little detail that I noticed is the entire car is shiny carbon fiber except these vents. These are satin, as well as the mirrors. The mirrors are satin. So I think that might be for glare. I know a lot of companies will do satin carbon fiber kind of where the sun hits often, so that way it reduces glare. But anyway, little detail. We have the dihedral synchro helix Koenigsegg doors. Coolest doors on earth, carbon strut bar, and we have like the full CNC Koenigsegg door mechanism. It's just so cool, guys. So going inside of the Phoenix, this is one of the hardest cars ever to get into. That looks super cool with the Phoenix badge there. Carson is opening that side. Look how cool this thing is. It smells like new car too. This is a brand new car. I don't know how many miles it has, but it smells like it's less than 50. Have a look at the Koenigsegg pedals. They're super cool. I don't exactly know what they're made out of, but it looks like a single piece metal, really high-end pedals. But that's kind of the thing you expect from this level of car. So anyway, let me step on the brake, press the start, and see what this thing does. So now Carson is going to open this up and show us the engine bay of the gorgeous Phoenix. This is the 1360 horsepower, 1-to-1 megawatt. You can see it right there. That's what that gold 1 stands for, is the megawatt of power. And look at all the gold in the engine bay, even the struts for the suspension.
Jeez, look at top.
So guys, now I'm going to show you the inside of Mike's Agera R, so you get a sense for the differences between the standard, slightly older Agera R, and then the brand new Phoenix, which is one of the most recent Koenigseggs to roll off the line. So this is what the Agera R looks like. It's a little bit less aggressive. It's more of a street-friendly car. Softer leather rather than all Alcantara, which is in the Phoenix over there. And God, guys, just look at that gold in the sun. It's so beautiful. I don't think there's any car like it. But the inside of the Agera R is still very nice. We have carbon, leather. The main differences are the lack of gold accenting. So it's still a gorgeous interior. We have the smooth leather Alcantara with the Koenigsegg crest, and there's tons of Alcantara everywhere. The stitching isn't quite as extravagant. It only has one type of stitching rather than the 3 types of stitching in the Phoenix. So as you can see, the Agera R has kind of an outdated speedometer in comparison to the Agera RS. It's got 3 pieces that are separated by metal, 3 screens rather than just one really beautiful, colorful digital screen. Carson, why does the Aventador sound like angry, grumpy old men?
They don't like being awoken.
Ah. All right, so this is the final position that we're doing for the photo. We have the Phoenix here, Agera R, the BC, and then the 2 ketchup and mustard inside the garage. And we can't forget the gorgeous blue Urus over there. Carson and I were noticing this has every type of automotive door. So we have Koenigsegg's dihedral synchro helix, say that 10 times fast. We have the gull wing doors that are classic with Mercedes, but kind of carried on by Pagani. Then we have the butterfly doors on the LaFerrari, and then finally the classic scissor doors on the Aventador. So we're pretty much done with all the photos, and now the time has come to move all the cars back in the garage. So it's kind of a lot to maneuver in this small little space. These cars are pretty tricky to drive in tight spaces, but the trick is to put them in neutral and kind of move them with the wheel spokes. That's always the Thank you all for watching. Make sure you guys like this video and subscribe to my channel, because very soon when Mike is back in town, we're gonna be taking out that car, the Agera RS Phoenix, a very special car, and doing a full on the road video. So make sure you're subscribed for that. Thanks.